We from that cassette era, you know what I'm saying? That purple tape era, that Nas Illmatic era, that Dr. Dre, Chronic, Snoop Dogg era, you know what I mean? We bouncing all over the place with this right here. We taking it from the south, from the west to the east, to the north, Midwest. We taking this globally, man. Like, you gotta see that. Like, we going all over the place with this, man. Europe, shout out to Africa. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to New Zealand, Australia. Yo, we going everywhere with this. This is that real. You looking for that real hip hop? You need that real hip hop in your life? You need the International Reem Supreme Show.
Live and recording, it's the International Reem Supreme Show. We got the whole squad in the building. Sha Bills, School, Mr. International. You know who it is. It's time to get busy. You're gonna enjoy yourself tonight. You could have been anywhere else in the world. Let's go.
Word up. Thank you, Taraja. Thank you, bro.
Always.
Thank you. Scooby's in the building. He showed up for work, y'all.
2 days in a row.
You
What up?
Hey, you might get a promotion.
Good to be here.
What's up?
Yo, one more time, we gotta put his face back up on the website, man. Shout out to my brother Shack Bills.
It was good.
Shack Sha in the building. I
Peace,
love you,
peace,
bro.
peace.
You know, we recording live from Houston on this side. We got Queens in the building. We got Tampa in the building. And like Taraja said before we hit the record button, this is actually like the ghetto version of the International Reem Supreme Show. I am your host, Kareem Shon. It's hood because I ain't got my mic. I ain't got my 1080 camera joint. And we just gonna thug it out, man. So thank you for rocking with us again. Yo, it's Thursday night. Taking my Thursdays back. I normally don't shout out what day and time that we rocking, but I felt the need to say that I'm coming back for my Thursday night. Because you remember I used to always record on Thursday nights. You know what I mean? And from here, I would bounce downtown to all the spots. I would go holla at Big Reeks and the rest of the crew. Shout out to DJ Demo.
Exactly, man.
You know, I would go see my man, Good Grief, right? Shout out to DJ Good Grief. That's my big homie right there. You know, word. Shout out Tony Dog. We see you out here in these Houston streets, man. So that's what's up. But we've been getting, you know, the more content we put out, fellas, the better off we're going to be, right? This is our long-term journey. This is our way of giving back to hip-hop, spreading love, and just doing what we do. Want to give a couple of shout-outs real quick before we get on and popping. OG Care Bear, I see you out there. Fan of the heart to my brothers. No,
Yeah. Yo.
Yeah, whatever Sha was saying, word up, we're gonna second that. Shout out to Mrs. The Damn Polly Pop. That's what's up. Shout out to Susan Mar. This is all on Twitter. Shout out to Almond. I don't think she listens to our podcast or watches it, but shout out to you anyway. Can't talk shit about Taraja because he's here. Shout out to Cola, Phone. What up? Traffalo. Cino the Doodle Bug. Shout out to you, sir. Peace of Universal Allah. And look, man, this week went by kind of quick. If you ain't seen our last episode, we did the Nas review. Please check that out. We got a bonus interview with Tri-State.
Peace, Tri-State.
Absolute, man. I've got that popping right now. And look, man, I'm really excited about what's going on right now in the rap game. You know, I'm normally hard on the game, pause, because I demand more. from these talented staple of artists that we got out here, you know what I mean? And I like to see things from across the board, you know, from the underground all the way up, you know, and sometimes the dominoes don't fall the way that we all want them to fall with the new releases and stuff like that. But I will say this though, when you get a situation like 2020, 2020, what it forces you to do is to go back and start digging in the crates almost again. You know what I mean? Start looking for that new sound or hopping on SoundCloud and letting it run. You know what I mean?
Can I say something real quick though?
Absolutely.
A bunch of great shit came out this year.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, a bunch of great shit came out this year. My man said it. It was a while ago. It's kind of like we're in the new 90s. The 2020. And I was thinking about this the other day. It's kind of like the 95, 94 maybe with the great shit that came out because, you know, it's a ball of great shit coming out. So please, check us out. Check out the great shit too.
Word up. Yo, Scoob, how you feeling, brother?
Yo, I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good. Good to be back. You know, I ain't been here for a minute. But like Taraja just said, it's a lot of good joints out there. It's a lot of good joints out there. A lot of good fire joints. Like you will not be disappointed on what's out there. Like me personally, my favorite, I like Westside Gunna. You know, like I be bumping him a lot. Who else? Westside Gunna, Lee Lord, I definitely bumping him a lot. The Davies joint. When we listen to that Davies joint.
That Karma?
Yeah, Karma 3. But woo!
Ooh, let me. Please don't forget 38.
Armani.
Who?
Armani Caesar.
Oh my God.
Armani Caesar. I'm getting into it.
Yo.
Yeah.
So far I like her, but I'm getting into it.
I didn't know what to.
Which one is that? What album was that?
Armani Caesar.
The Liz.
Armani Caesar.
Okay.
Yo, the first song on the album, well, her intro, then the first song is called Countdown. Dog, if you ain't heard that shit, you gonna wanna bang that shit in the whip soon as you hear it, yo.
For real? Okay.
Nah, bro, this shit is hard. Bro, it's yeah.
I'm getting into it. I'm not gonna say, oh, I like that, but so far, I like Armani Caesar.
So yo, in this episode that we have, you know, for this one right here, I got a chance to link up with my homegirl. She's a business law attorney here in Houston and also in Atlanta. You know, we'll get into that in a minute. I always like to try to clear as much of the smoke out of the way, the mirrors, the bullshit in the industry, right? And because I've been around it and I've had relationships with people who are in it, I tend to understand how this thing works behind the cameras, right? And the thing that kind of bothers me, I ain't going front, it seems like when everybody get on, they all go run out and go get the hip hop starter kit, right? They go get the chains, the watches, the houses, the cars, and then, you know, the groupies come along and, you know, you got a ball out of control all of the time. But then, you know, you'll hear a story like, and again, I'm not trying to shade nobody, this is all facts, it's all true, right? Meek Mill's talking about how he a boss and how he got all this money. He gets in trouble and Jay-Z got to bail him out, right? Now, Lil Wayne, baller. He had some problems, he had to get bailed out too, right? I'm not saying that people don't need a favor, you don't need help every now and again, we all do, you know what I'm saying? But I guess the thing that bothers me is, if you got it the way that you say that you have it, then why when you get in the gym and you fuck up, you ain't got it?
Right.
Feel me, Sean?
Yo, that's.
I feel you.
I feel that.
I feel that 100%. You know, I think it's, you know, it has a lot to do with image has a lot to do with you know, how people want to be perceived. You know what I'm saying? Perception has a lot to do with it. But in the end of the time, like you said, when they get caught up in a situation where, you know, everybody think your money long, videos your money long, you know what I'm saying? Outside your money long, but you don't even know a lot of that is borrowed. That's borrowed things. You could have a lot of money, you know, tied up in real estate and investments and, you know, on paper, but it's different to have that cash when it's time to move cash, liquid.
Word up. That's for real. And you know, a lot of times you'll hear people complain about their contract. Well, you signed that contract. That contract is a binding situation, bro.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Your name is on it. You signed it down.
That's a marriage.
And
that's a damn marriage.
Huh?
So that's a marriage.
Basically,
it's basically a marriage with a upfront loan, right? It's a loan. They're not giving you this money. You know what my man said. I heard your deal came with $100,000 and some jergens. That $100,000 ain't really your money. It's not your money. You know what I'm saying? That's a lot. That's your business money. You know what I mean? And people get gassed off of that. Like, yo, this dude signed for X amount of money. But you always start to hear them complain about their contracts and shit like that, right? And you go into this, you ain't got no money, you fresh off the street, right? You probably got an attorney appointed to you from the label, you know, just like you was getting locked up or some shit. You about to get locked up or some shit. You about to do 7 hours.
360 days.
You ain't seen nothing really.
Yo, K.
Basically, you paid your life away. You ain't seen nothing.
Yo, we might have to tell that story one day about that situation, K. Remember?
I don't remember.
Remember when you came up to see me? You know, you came to New York and we went out and then the thing happened and then you had to take my car and you had to go.
Yeah. Hey. All right. That's for Tales 3. I'll tell that story. I will. Hey. We'll kick that. But
I can Tales 3, man.
What was you saying, School? Because you kind of cut out in between me and Shack.
I was saying basically like you think you make it now. Basically you paying your life away. Everything you got is going back to them. So basically, it's like Sha said, yeah, it's going to look good. It's rented. You know what I'm saying? It's going to sound good, but you're going to look flashy, but you're really not. So it's like, you stuck. That's why, like, you know, me, bro, I always talk about Young Dolph. That's why I like Young Dolph. Because I mean, at one point, they're trying to get Young Dolph signed contract. Nigga said, hell no. So, yo, I made more money on my own, doing my own shit and sign with y'all. Y'all need me to bring more money to your label. I ain't doing that shit. And they were gonna give him some bread. He's like, fine. And they add up like, yo, I'm not gonna do that, bro. If I'm bringing my own thing in, I don't need y'all. You know, but the cats that's caught up in it.
Yeah.
So is it better to go to independent rapping?
You know, it really depends, man. At the end of the day, I believe it's really how you want to go about doing it. You know, if it's really hard. It's just hard. You know, look, if you want to get your foot in the door, then I think you do want to go with a label. If you want to get your foot in the door, you're willing to grind and wear 10 to 12 different hats and handle all these different aspects that comes with not just being an artist, but with managing your business. You know what I'm saying? It's the music business. You know what I mean? And that word business is bigger than music because 90% of your career is based on that, right? So I say all this to say, have y'all been keeping up with what our hopeful president candidate is out here doing on Twitter? You know what I'm talking about, right? You know who's running for president? You know, our next black president, Kanye West.
Mr. West.
I see some confusion on you.
Mr. West. Mr. West.
I'm really sorry. I'm voting for him.
No, I'm so lost.
I'm
You
voting
lost?
for Mr. West.
You, Mr. West, you ain't playing?
What? Who? Huh?
He said, who? Mr. Huh? Yeah. Mr. West talking about running.
No,
He is running. He is running. I'm sorry, my bad. My fault. I said talk about. I mean, he is running. I don't know how long ago was it that he had the open press conference where he was talking about his daughter. Where he almost killed. They was acting to kill his daughter. Kim was like, you know what I'm talking about?
No. See, we ain't going in.
We ain't gonna go to that one. We ain't gonna go. Okay. Well,
Listen here.
Yeah.
Stop being chatty.
No, I'm just saying.
Taraja. Since I'm not with you, that's why you only get a minute and a half. You heard?
You know what? Let me tell you something.
Yeah, you done fucked up.
See, you think I was trying to be? You think I was trying to chat? No, I was just saying.
No.
I wasn't about to make a compliment about that. Go ahead.
Yo, you know what? When you do that, I'm gonna be like, yo, you gonna let it. You gonna let it.
We here to talk about some albums. We here to get this music going.
Let's do that.
We have a lot of albums.
Wait. This is the one where we actually talk about Kanye. Then we do the next one when we talk about the album. Wait, we still here. So hold on, let me jump into this real quick. Cause Sha's like, fuck this bullshit. I'm about the music, and I'm with you, Sha. I'm with you, Sha. So yeah, man. So listen, few things right now. You know, Kanye feels like he could change the world and make it better for all recording artists. He wants to have a sit down with Drake and wants to have a sit down with Cole. First, he wanted public apologies from these brothers, and they was like, "Fuck, what's wrong with you?" I'm sure. But you know, at the heart of the matter, though, he wants to go ahead and try to change the way that record contracts are put together. He went as far as to put out his own contract, like page for page. He put it all on Twitter and criticized it. And the one thing that I can appreciate is he'll come up with a solution. Motherfuckers love to talk about their problems and what needs to happen, but they don't really have it. So he has a solution, and you know, again, I don't want to go too far into it. He put these solutions out on Twitter. And then he goes on to say things like, I'm wearing Jordans till I'm on the board of Adidas. If you wanted to be on the board before you made them billions of dollars, did you have to show and prove first, yay? Like there was no way of, you know, of doing that? You know, and now you capping. I'm not releasing nothing on Gap till I'm on the board. Yo, look, I'm gonna keep it real, bro. Nobody's excited about this Gap and Ye shit. I rock Gap. I ain't going for it. I got a couple of pieces from a couple of years ago, but that's not the point, though.
That's
That's not the point, though.
Right.
He's gonna say, I'm giving all artists back the 50% share I have of their masters. You know how much motherfucking money is that?
That's right.
You know, he would have to pay Big Sean, who said, yo, yeah, I'll take that.
Yeah.
You know, he would have to, he would have to pay motherfucking Pusha T. He good music.
Yeah.
Who was the other motherfucker? The Panda nigga.
Oh,
Designer. He good music. Huh?
Yeah.
Now I was saying designer.
Yo, look, man, all I know is this. if your paperwork ain't right, your career ain't right, don't wait till you get on the back end of a situation and start putting your hand out, man. If you're worth it, then you're worth it. And you should definitely charge your worth, then add tax. So we gonna wrap this up, man. Continue to watch the show because we got a solution too. You know what I mean? We got a solution from Stephanie Hay, entertainment business attorney, and that's what's up. So yo, make sure you follow us, share our content, keep it 100 with us, keep it 100 with y'all.
International Reem Supreme Show. Check us out. We here.
That shit on IG and Twitter.
Yep.
Yeah, all that. Word. All right.
We out. Let's go. Stay with the team.
Yo, Scooby School 75 Instagram.
If he's ever on Instagram,
You know, if you catch it.
Nah, I'm saying
King.
it's because it still has Wood 75. That's why you gotta change it.
whenever you're ready, bro.
Oh, I'm done.
Cool. So we should be recording. Yeah, so shout out to the whole Supreme team, Shack Sha, who couldn't be with us this evening. Shout out to Taraja, who is getting some much needed R&R and loving. Probably more loving than the R&R. Shout out to Scooby, who hasn't been showing up to work, but we give him a lot of love and we give him a lot of slack because he is in the healthcare industry. So, we always show our love to Scooby's like the Jerobi of A Tribe Called Quest, right? He's he's a part of the group, and we'll put him in the video every so often. Of course, you got me, yours truly, representing the city of Houston from New York. Both of my homes in the building as always. I got a chance to be a part of a really cool situation at Houston Community College about 2 years ago now. And I became a member of the Music Business Advisory Board. And I get to report to a boss who's a boss of bosses in her lane as well as on this board. And when I was first introduced to her, I was nervous because she came in with a lot of energy and a lot of power. It was like powerful energy, but it was like the energy of power, right? Like, y'all ain't gonna mess with me today. I got other shit to do, and how's this gonna get done? So I've taken her for that ever since. But the one thing that I shared with her was a passion to go against the grain and do what people said that you can't do. Our goal with this board is not only to provide a great curriculum for the students there, but to also use it as a launching pad of sorts to help influence the musical soundscape on the business side here in Houston. Our idea was, Atlanta wasn't always just Atlanta, right? So why can't Houston be the next Atlanta? Or, why can't Houston just be Houston? Right? We ain't got to be next, right? So what's really dope for me is I moved here to Houston about 17, 18 years ago, right when things really started getting popping, when the majors started kind of plucking some of the Southern acts, and bringing them on board because they were becoming hot or trendy at the time when, the flavor's always been there. So I seen the rise of Slim Thug, for an example, right? I know he was an independent artist, and then I know he signed to a major for an album or two, and then, he kind of voiced his opinion on his experience about that, and then decided to go back independent, and it's been happy ever since, right? And then I see the other example where you get your Drakes of the world that go major and they stay major, and look, every business deal isn't a happy situation, but for the most part, over the last decade, he's been pretty happy with his situation, at least, from what we could tell, right? So one of the things that I'm really focused on is still continuing that goal, right, of helping Houston become a Houston music business, let's call it a pod, right, a location. And at the same time, I'm also interested in knocking out all of the myths that come behind, being a rapper, being an entertainer. So I wanted to introduce my homegirl, Stephanie Hay. She is a music entertainment attorney. You bounce between Houston and Atlanta, right?
Yes.
All right, cool. So the floor is yours. I wanted to start first with, when did you first find your passion for music?
I first found my passion for music. So I know we are here for hip hop, but my initial love for music came with R&B. My first two CDs ever, or my first CD, physical CD ever, or tape, I don't know, I think it was a tape actually, was Monica's first album. So
Yeah.
at heart, I am a 90s R&B lover. Yes, at heart, I'm a 90s R&B lover. And I probably reason why I still rock with Monica to this day. The verses was the best thing that in my whole entire life. And so, yes, that was probably my first introduction and love for just good music. And then from there, of course, things started to take fold. And I guess being from Atlanta, you start to really get into what's going on. So then from there, you have your Monica, and I was R&B. My brother was hip hop. And so in that, as we share a Jack and Jill bathroom in the morning, get dressed, I may be listening to Monica or Pink's first album, which was an R&B album, and he's listening to, T.I.'s first album. He's listening to Outkast. So we have this music battle going on in the morning as we're both getting dressed to go to school of who's listening to what. And half the time I would concede. So by that point, I know every single lyric from T.I.'s first album simply because he is blasting it so loud. I'm just like, okay, whatever. I guess that's what we're listening to this morning. Tupac, and because Biggie or Tupac, we were listening to Tupac in the morning. And so by the time I did listen to Big, I was like, I guess that's why we did like Tupac better. So that is where my
whole nother
love
thing.
for
Whole
music.
nother thing. We ain't gonna talk about that.
But hey, right, we're gonna pick a side though. So in that same regard, that is where my love for music came in. This is when BET Hip Hop, the BET Awards were big. I remember watching Deborah get on stage and give her speech, her typical speech during the BET Awards, and always really thinking like, oh my God, like I don't know what she does, but in her I see myself, and I want to be involved in whatever this production is, whatever this TV music thing is. And I know I'm not going to be, one of the artists performing, but in her I saw the business, like, okay, I can do what she's doing. I can't dance or sing or whatever, but whatever she's doing, let me figure out how to do that, because that I can do, and it'll put me at the pulse of what I seem to love. So that is really where it kind of started. So I would say middle school, high school.
Okay, that's what's up. And back to that Pac versus Big comment, I'm gonna let that go. I have a lot of respect for you, and our friendship comes first.
Okay, so
I like your story though. I like I saw somebody that I felt like I could be, and chasing after that, right? And I think sometimes we take that for granted. I remember, being like, damn, now I could say to, someone like me, yeah, you can be president, because Barack became president, right? So once we see that, we like, yo, I think I could do that, and then we go after it. With the whole Monica Brandy thing, did you watch Versus?
Of course. It was like it was an event. It was a thing. It was a whole living room concert. It was everything that makes your there are songs that have moments in as your parents say, and now you realize, oh, that's what they meant. Like, these songs have significant milestones in my life that remind me. I remember what I was doing. I heard that song come on. So yes, it was everything to me. It was everything to me.
That's what's up. So, we got you in the game, right? We got you motivated to get in the game. What made you choose law over straight up, music business, and any other, category that kind of falls into that?
Of because I didn't quite know how to do it, and I knew law an open was a degree that would allow me to explore other industries. Like, I mean, honestly, like a safety net to explore other industries and still figure out what I want to do, because it still had a component that allowed you to touch the music business. And so, not necessarily knowing what to do, I went to Howard. I got a communications degree,
Shout
and
out to
I knew
Howard.
I wanted to do something in media. Yes, HU. I knew I wanted to do something in media, and I knew I wanted something that maybe television, film involved, journalism, something to that effect. But what was that next step going to be, and how am I supposed to do it? My parents are big on education, so of course it was kind of like, well, until you figure that out. I came out of school in the middle of the I call it the depression, or when the economy was bad. So once again, school was a safety net. So I was like, okay, well, I guess I'll go back to school and kind of wait it out. And in doing so, looking at all of my options, I feel like an MBA, you needed something to be specific, and I wasn't ready to commit to a particular area because I just wasn't quite sure. Like, okay, so what is this supposed to look like? So honestly, I picked law because it provided variety, and I like variety. I don't want to feel like I am stuck. And at 21, when you're coming out of school, I just feel like it was a huge commitment to make without having really any background knowledge or real work experience to say, hey, this is I know now what I want to do, versus when I realized other people go get their MBAs, they already have an idea because they've worked in the industry. Like, okay, definitely I want to get my MBA in this. I didn't have that. So I wanted to make sure I picked something that gave me some type of variety and an ability to explore once I did finish my formal education.
Got you. One of the things that I find to be incredibly motivating to me is watching an artist go from nothing to something. And people feel like, they say that an overnight success takes about 10 years in the making. And I believe that through experience for one. You know how Facebook shows you your flashbacks? Yo, I caught one like a couple of weeks ago. It was from 10 years ago. And it said, can anyone help me find, I think it said, could someone help me find a person who can help me market my business? I need more hits on my website than Rihanna being in a Lambo with Chris Brown. Now, looking back at it, I could have saved the Chris Brown joke, right? But it just helped me to realize, like, yo, I knew nothing of what I do to afford my life and to afford the life of others, 10 years ago, if I didn't, find this thing and stick to it, right? So one of the, if anybody's followed me long enough, they already know I'm a huge Griselda fan. I'm a fan of Westside Gunn, Benny the Butcher, and Conway, simply because I first heard Conway on Shade 45 and DJ Selector played his record. And the first thing I thought, because I know how fickle the music business is, or how just, music is, I was like, yo, that dude is dope, and it'll be great to hear from him again. And that was it. I didn't think I was going to hear shit else. The next thing was Fly God from Westside. I found the album, just kind of thumbing through Tidal, and I've been a fan ever since. So I would say I probably caught the Griselda train around Hermes mixtape 3, right? So from my standpoint, I caught them early, right? When no one knew who they was. And now they're on BET, they're on Jimmy Fallon. And I wanted to learn from you and also to kind of shed light to my audience and people who rock with me, this side of the music business where, obviously you got to make the music and put it out there, right? Just like any other product that you're marketing. But what I wanted to learn was, what are some of the basic steps I need to have in place when I decide, there's room for me and my friends, we're going to be rappers, and I'm going to take over this game?
Basic steps in just to create in the creation of what you would consider to be your empire, I think is like anything else, you're molding it. No matter how big you want to get or how small you are starting, I believe you mold it off of you look at what the bigger companies are doing, and you really reflect that. So they have a legal department, they have marketing and a promotions department, they have distribution, they have the creative teams department. So where are those people on your team? It doesn't have to be 50 people per department, but where are your single individuals that represent that quasi department per se to then go out there and make it happen? And typically what you find in independent artists is they're missing key components that will make that happen for them, or people that are going to do that work.
So in this case, look, I just bought this equipment. I got egg crates up in my closet. I'm ready to get it in, right? So marketing and promotion, that's going to be me. Artwork and design, that's going to be me. Production, that's going to be Shack Sha, right? And my legal team. Oh, I didn't even know I needed a legal team because I'm too busy trying to record and put this music on SoundCloud so, people could get with me. So you said it's all about how I want to set up my music, my empire. In this case, let's just say I want to get discovered and I want to sign to a major. Like, that's what I'm doing this for. When do I know that I need an attorney? Is this like once I start getting a call or before that even happens?
I say start building a relationship, because before you started getting that call with some people, you're going to, of course, once you get that phone call, going to advise you to find representation, and depending on who you may be working with, they're going to recommend somebody. But to me, in those pinches, you're forced to pick somebody that you don't have a rapport with, that you don't necessarily have a relationship with, because now you have this piece of paper in your hand that you feel like you need to sign. However, if you take the steps ahead of time to start to build a rapport with someone, start to build a rapport with entertainment attorneys. But prior to, I feel like they were hard. We were hard to access. Social media to me has eliminated that. So there are entertainment attorneys that have pages that engage with people. So you may not be Beyonce right now, but that's not the goal here. As you say, everybody is building a book of clients. So no, I'm not interested in representing Beyonce. I mean, granted, it'd be great, but that's not the goal. The goal is to work with artists who are trying to do something and build a rapport with them. So when the moment does come, you feel comfortable enough knowing that I do have your best interest at heart, because this is your livelihood, versus us cold turkey starting a relationship and it immediately needs to be that I'm negotiating this $1 million contract. If you talk to any of the older artists that have, in my opinion, have signed and, entered deals, I would bet money a lot of them did not have a rapport with the attorneys that they originally negotiated their agreements. They were really kind of cold turkey relationships, and it was based on a referral that somebody else gave them, that's why they went with that particular attorney. And now on the backside, they're like, I didn't anybody representing my interest, or I didn't feel like they were representing my interest. And I think that comes into, you build the relationships with the manager and with all these other people, but you don't invest in building the relationships with the attorneys. And that's where the problem comes in, where you haven't built the relationship. So it seems as if we're dispensable, and that shouldn't necessarily that shouldn't be the case. I don't want to feel like a dispensable member of your team. I want to feel like we have built, just like the manager has been here to build, here to as well. So what does that look like? I think we really need, between the artists and the attorneys, have that conversation to say, okay, so what does it look like to you? Because there are a lot of artists out here working that probably could use the assistance of an attorney, but they just don't want to get one.
Okay, I got you. So in building that relationship, like, let's not get this twisted. In building this relationship, that start of that relationship comes with a retainer. Like, pay me for giving you this advice and for working with you in this capacity. Is that the case, or is that on a case-by-case situation?
There are several options. I feel like I will call it old school method of how things have been set up in the attorney relationship is based on, now you have consultation fees that you pay, which are not retainers. It's just a flat fee. You have attorneys like myself who are charging just flat fee prices for certain things that you may need to have done. So now instead of me telling you that I need some, enormous retainer amount, you're telling me, Stephanie, hey, I need a contract drafted for a producer, and I'm quoting you a flat fee. So with that flat fee, you know exactly how much it's going to cost. There's no question. You know exactly what services are going to be provided. And then from there, we continue to grow. So no, it is not about, with the attorney, yes, you are paying for our time, but don't take it as if I'm billing you for every single little thing when there are options. I offer subscription packages which allow you, that give you wiggle room to say, okay, pay a monthly fee and you get, conversations, emails, maybe a document drafted. So there are attorneys coming up with creative ways to allow clients to feel more comfortable and not feeling like, okay, I in order to even start the relationship, there's an enormous retainer that is owed before we can even do anything. In some cases, there may be, because of an agreement and you're coming off the street and you're like, hey, I need you to negotiate this. Then we'll have that conversation. But no, not necessarily.
All right. So to wrap this up, Steph, on your vibe, quick question Friday. I got a quick question for you to wrap this up. Right now, I got my attorney. My bars is tight. I'm doing my thing, and now it's time for me to get paid, right? So is that left to my attorney to make sure that he or she's taken care of, or is there someone else I should be going to for this? How do I make sure that my royalties are coming from me off of every piece of music I sell?
Who are you? Are you the producer? Are you the
I'm
artist?
still the artist. I am a rapper. I'm coming to take it over.
Oh,
and I got bars and mics, yo.
Okay, so are you just an artist, or are you also the songwriter?
I am the songwriter. I write all my own music. You know what I mean, hooks and all. Nah, you. Okay, I got you.
Yeah. I'm like, wait, what happened? Okay, so say that one more time.
So yeah, I'm the songwriter. I'm the rapper. This is me.
Okay, so how do you get your money? So have you set up distribution?
No.
Because
Right
distribution
now,
is going.
I'm selling straight off the website. If you pay me $9.99, I will shoot you over a digital copy of the CD today.
Okay, so you're getting your physicals straight off the website. But
Yep.
what about the individuals that are streaming? So if individuals are streaming, not from your site, are they?
No. I'm up on on Spotify, and I got iHeart. Tune in.
Okay. Okay. So somebody had to put those songs up there, and that typically is the party you signed up to do distribution with, and they're accounting back to you for royalties, specifically mechanical royalties. If you're also the songwriter, also they're reporting back you the performing, or for the sound recording royalties as well. So those are your streaming royalties that they may be reporting back to you. So with that being said, who you need to figure out who your distributor is that's put you up on those platforms, because they're going to collect those royalties for you and they're going to send you a check.
Okay, cool. Because I need to get my.
And this is if you're going in. So you need a distribution company. So that's where your companies like, StreamCut, CD Baby, DistroKid, places like that. All of those places are not only doing distribution where you can buy the CD and they'll collect those monies and send you the money, but they'll also put it up and collect the monies from streaming.
So, Steph, thank you. You've given us $1 million worth of game for free 99. I appreciate that. I will make sure that everybody has your links and know where to follow you online through Facebook, through Instagram, and through your website. Is there anything else you want to plug before we say peace and love?
No, follow me on the gram. That's where I'm typically always at. In the process of probably writing some type of book of some sort. So keep a lookout on that. I appreciate your support. But outside of that, no, we're good.
Absolutely. Okay, cool. Steph, thank you for your time. again, I'll make sure the contact is there. And you know what? I'm gonna put this out on a Friday on the spirit of Quick Question Friday.
Okay, I'll use it as a clip.
All right, yo, peace and love, and be careful out there.
All right, same to you.